Hi, this is Tim Grant, your 5-minute QuickBooks professor. Today talking about how to manage purchase orders. So first let's start with some of the simple reports that you have. If you go to Reports under Purchasing, you see there's 3 open purchase reports. The first one is kind of general. It's high level. It shows you just the transaction level and not the detail. One of the things that this is useful for, however, is that you can customize the report. Go down here and add a couple of dates, the ship date and the due date. And then you can use this for a little bit of analysis and tracking. So for example, if I sort this by delivery date, when I expect the items to arrive, I can use this for my receiving dock, when they can expect the goods to come in, when my production crew is expecting the items to arrive, as well as accounting, because the bills ultimately will follow the purchase orders pretty quickly, and they can use this as a tool to determine what's coming in and what to save for. Okay, so that's the general open purchase orders report. Then if we go down here to the purchase orders detail, this was added in 2011, and this is pretty useful because this will list the items individually and all the open purchase orders that we have for all of those items. And on it, you can see what has been back ordered and what has been received. So that's useful to know what's still out there and have an idea of when things are going to come in when people start asking. So the last general report for purchasing is purchase orders by job. And this one, now I can specifically list this by the customers and that are associated to a purchase order. So when I have a purchase order, I can drill down, when I'm creating it, I can assign this to a specific customer so that when the item comes in, we can identify that job that's ready to be completed now that the goods are in. Okay, so let me show you something on the item list. This is your standard item list, and I'm going to use an item here, the anchor adhesive, also known as the ANAD. I'll show you how this is all set up. The fields to really pay attention to are the preferred vendor. You should always have a preferred vendor specified. Unfortunately, QuickBooks only allows one. It doesn't show alternates, but it does list a preferred vendor, and you're going to want that when you do the auto-create of purchase orders. The other thing I wanted to show you is that each item has a global purchase ordering reorder point and an individual reorder point per site. So we see we have 50 there. Over here on this site, we have only a reorder point of 30, and I've included this to have in 2014 they added max fields, maximum. Usually that can be based on space availability or perhaps what a vendor will send to you. So I've put in 100 for here, but note that what I have specified for this specific site is in no way related to my global reorder point, and that's an important issue to remember. So my add here, I'm done with that. And then under reports, if I want to auto purchase order these items, I go down to inventory, and typically I want to go by my inventory stock status by item report. I won't go into the details of how these numbers get calculated, but basically it shows per item, and you have a minimum and a maximum for my items. It shows me on hand. That's if I did a physical inventory count of all the items in all of our locations, what we should have. However, we may have some other items on sales orders. We may have some of our items reserved for assemblies, leaving what's available. Then we also have an order column. So this is where we want to start. This is a flag for us to go ahead and order these items. Now, if you're using the inventory stock status by item report, there's a little button up here, auto create purchase orders. And if I go to my ANAD here, you see the way these are set up is you have my reorder point of 50, and it always tries to give me one above my minimum. So I have 18 on hand, and I have 3 on a purchase order, giving me 21. So it's suggesting that I do 30. There's no way for it to automatically generate these. It always brings up this screen to let me question whether I want to, if this is what I want to order or not. Now notice from that, now if I also go to my report under inventory by site report, however, and I do my custom auto PO, Here on the ANAD, you see here it has a reorder point of 30 because it's looking at just this site here. So it's looking at the 18 I have on hand and it's suggesting 82, which is a maximum of the amount I want to order. So that's the difference between these two reports. You want to make sure that you're ordering off the rate report, and that's generally how you do your reordering of and creating purchase orders and managing them in QuickBooks. My name is Tim Grant. I'm your 5-minute QuickBooks professor, and thank you for joining us.